And we are live yet again at the first of the month, the first Wednesday of the month for Fast Facts and Features. You know, Kevin, I think this is about our, fourth or fifth month that we've been chatting, educating people about the flooring business.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I'm here every day, so, you know, it's hard to keep track of time, but I'll take your word for it.
So today, I know we ended last month on a topic we will come back to, but this topic to me, when I was a project manager and now educating people as I do for you, that came top of mind this time of year. I remember going out, sending emails to designers, the architects, contractors, homeowners that, that have been on the fence, so to speak. And saying, okay, are you wanting to get, flooring in before the holiday season? And that really starts about the middle of December. You don't want contractors and stuff like that making a big mess because you want to decorate and all the rest of the good stuff. And we're allowed to, have a few people in for holiday celebrations this year. So let's get real about Christmas crunch. And I'm not talking the world best-selling cookie right now.
You're making me hungry. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does. I think it comes with chocolate and peppermint. But anyways, let's get back to flooring. So Kevin, I want new carpeting installed for the first weekend. I want you guys nowhere near my house December the 1st. When do I need to start coming in to talk with that conversation with you?
Well, my answer would be now.
Okay.
Yeah, so the lead time on carpet probably isn't quite that long, but it's been a wonky year. Nothing is as normal, but you're right. This is now my 21st year in retail flooring sales, believe it or not. Yeah, I was 5 years old when I started. No.
Oh, I thought you were 6. For some reason, well, I thought I heard 6.
I look like young 20s or late 20s, right? Yeah, so that the Christmas question or the Christmas crunch has been a yearly question and issue. So yeah, it's one of those funny things that we have to work around, and construction timeframes, to all of a sudden place this artificial time frame, so to speak, in the pattern and the yearly cycle of going through projects it can be a bit of a challenge. So, I mean, definitely the more time you give us, the better. So if you're interested in carpet anytime in 2021, I would say come down within the next, as soon as you can, make an appointment if possible. Let's get it started.
Okay, so carpet normally takes, so realistically, they've picked their carpet, and how average from your suppliers, is it a 3-day turnaround, a week turnaround, and then the install turnaround? So let's just kind of do a bit of math here.
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, for years and years and years, it was a 2-week turnaround from the time of order to the carpet arriving in our warehouse, and we'd pre-book an installation date typically for a few days after that. So that 2 weeks is now gone to like 4 to 6 weeks, which is,
wow.
For 20 years it was the same, and then all of a sudden this year it's not, right? So yeah, longer is better. We're running, carpet has been able to keep up inventory better than hardwood is, which we'll talk about next. But so yeah, it's getting installers available is really the big challenge with carpet. Every year that goes by, there's less and less of them, and we're very particular about who we work with here at Ethical. So yeah, we just have to wait for the good guys to become available. It's as simple as that.
Okay, LVT laminate.
Yeah,
what's so time there?
Yeah, so 8 to 10 weeks from the time of order is pretty typical. Again, it's not so much of a material issue, though it can be. Again, it's if clients want to get it installed by us, we have a maximum capacity of installation teams that we're willing to work with. Again, we could do more, but then we start losing control over quality and things just start going sideways. So we don't want to do that. So yeah, all of our teams are booked out typically for about that 8 to 10 week range. And again, you just have to wait if you want us to install it. If not, if we're just supplying material, which we do a lot of, people that have their own installer or they know somebody or whatever the relationship is, we can get that anywhere within a week to 4 weeks is pretty average.
Okay. So now the big granddaddy, oh my gosh, my family's coming in. I want to show off my new hardwood floor, my new tree and
Yeah.
decorations. Let's get real with hardwood floor and with stairs. Because I know when I was a project manager, sometimes the hardwood floor goes in, sometimes lickety split, but it comes to that staircase. That has to get created out of the flooring or totally out of, raw lumber stock and stained and all the rest of that good stuff to match. So let's get real.
Yeah. So hardwood is probably the biggest challenge point right now in the industry in terms of getting wood. There's a number of issues impacting it, from the supply of the lumber, the raw lumber itself, to supply of the adhesives that are used to make engineered wood, to the finishes, to the transportation. And all of that combined with really high demand has overwhelmed a lot of the hardwood suppliers right now. So there's in some instances, some pretty significant backlogs and back orders on especially on the Canadian made or European made hardwood floors, which are our favorite ones to work with. But they are some back orders involved with that. And then there's the typical 8 to 10 week labor time frame. But yeah, it's to get a Canadian made hardwood floor in before Christmas is probably not realistic at this point. Like some of our typical partners that we like to work with, they're looking at January at this point. But yeah, the installation time frame, I mean, it depends on the size of the home, right? If you're doing a whole home reno and you look at, floor leveling, which is we do on every project we do, that can take days, and then you actually get to the point of installing the floor, and that can take days, and then you're actually installing the stairs, and that can take days. So I mean, a typical main floor on a house with stairs, I mean, we're booking 2 weeks typically for something like that to pull the existing flooring, assess the subfloor, prep it, level it all, lay the floor, and then start doing the stairs and your accessories with transitions and heat vents, flush heat vents, which we talked about briefly, and baseboards and door casing. Like all of that stuff just takes time to come to completion. So yeah, it's not a carpet, which we love carpet because it's such a quick in and out, right? Like it's typically a 1 day, sometimes 2 days, and you can do a good portion of the house. Whereas a hardwood or even hard laminate, we take the same amount of care with a laminate or vinyl as we do with a hardwood, and so the same time frames are involved in that as well. It just takes time to do things right. I know you know that, but not everybody thinks the same way, I guess.
Why we're educating today. Now, here's a question that I don't think I've ever asked you, but I think I know the answer. So I go to Joe's Hardwood, who has hardwood in stock on the floor in a warehouse somewhere. And I go, hey, Kevin, will you install it for me? What's your answer?
Oh, do I have to be polite? Yes, I have to be polite. No, it's a legitimate question. And honestly, just because of our reviews and, our web presence and mostly our Google reviews, a lot of people call us with that question, and I have to be polite and say, we, with projects and product that we sell, we are full on the installation side. Always, we never have any openings, so we don't have available labor to just work on a floor that we didn't sell. We're just consumed with doing our own projects, and sometimes I feel bad about it, but it's just the reality. And we're not an installation company, but if you purchase something from us, we will guarantee that we will be able to install it for you.
That's a great question, because there's so many times that people go to like an auction or go to, there isn't a Joe's Hardwood floor store somewhere, but it's like, well, I bought my own hardwood floor. Can you find someone? And I always was amazed when people would call me, and I would go, if I had an installer available tomorrow, I would be very afraid of that particular hardwood floor company, between you and me, because good people never sit on their hands in this industry. If anything, they're head is down and their butt is up, doing a great job for someone out there. And I know your installers are impeccable. I've seen your work on site.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah, I mean, I get propositioned all the time by installers that want to join our team, and it's, like you said, if they're available tomorrow or within any sort of reasonable period of time, I'm very concerned about that just as a starting point, because a good tradesperson is is busy, and
Yeah.
all the best to them. I'm so happy for them that they are, because they deserve everything that they work for. But you have to wait. They're not just sitting in my warehouse waiting for, someone to show up that day. It's not that kind of business, unfortunately.
Exactly. So we're coming up to Thanksgiving, so I wish you and your lovely wife Tanya and your beautiful daughters a beautiful Thanksgiving this weekend. Our American followers, your Thanksgiving is coming up at the end of the month, next month. So we wish you a happy Turkey Day. So obviously closed on Monday for Thanksgiving at Ethical.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, every holiday I try not to be a slave driver, so everybody well deserves days off. We work really hard around here, so.
Perfect. So any questions about this topic, if you've got a hardwood, laminate, carpet you want installed, please call Kevin at the store. He'll have this honest conversation, and you may hear otherwise from other hardwood floor companies, but they're going to want to take your money and not fulfill. It's a Christmas crunch time, and I was so pleased, Kevin, when I sent you this message yesterday. This is what I wanted to talk about. But let's get real, let's be truthful, and let's all continue to do the best job that we can do for our customers out there at Ethical Flooring.
Yeah, and that's it. We'll tell you the straight truth, whether it's possible or not. And I know in the sales environment, that's not always the case. There's an old adage which says take the money and then figure out the problems after, but that's not how we do business at Ethical Flooring. We'll tell you whether it's possible or not, and we'll plan contingencies around that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So we'll see you back here again next Wednesday at 2 o'clock for another edition of Fast Facts and Features with me, the brand ambassador for Ethical Flooring. Happy Thanksgiving, Kevin.
Thanks, Jeanette. You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.